still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it out. It's your time, oh. Cheers to all the haters, cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you from the inside out. It's time to say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it out. It's your time, oh. If you're on the bus, say yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Everybody's going somewhere. Young or old, I really don't care. Life has never really been fair. So put your fist up in the air. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time to ride it out. It's your time, oh.
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No,
What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. So I'm super excited to be with all of you guys today. I see you in the chat, so let me know where you're watching from. Dottie from New Jersey, what's up? And let's see, Suman from India. We got Praveen from UK. Arlene from West Virginia. We got people from all over the place. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm gonna be doing a live haircut. We're gonna focus on some a shorter haircut on a male mannequin. So we're gonna have a lot of fun today. I want to go into things that I'm seeing in the salon, so that's where we're gonna kind of take this class today. So if you guys have ideas of what type of men's cut you want to see today, type it in the chat. If you're new to this show, if you've never watched my live stream before, type new in the chat. Love to see who that is. And then also, if you're an OG, you've been watching this for a long time, type OG in the chat. And if you are a Patreon member or a VCC member, type that in the chat. Let everybody know. Virtual Cutting Club is this private club that I have on Patreon. And basically, I do these live classes. This is kind of how it works now. I do these live classes. And then if you want to be able to have full access to the replays of these classes, then you would join the Patreon at patreon.com/Matt Beck. This is the link. Let me put it somewhere that you can see it. So right there, right there. And so you just join it, patreon.com/Matt Beck. It's $9.99 per month, supports the channel. And also you get access to all these things. And you get access to my FSE digital haircutting system, which is an 8-step haircut process. It teaches you everything you need to know about basic haircutting. There's a terminology book. It's in PDF form. There's videos for every single look. And then there's also step-by-step head sheets that you get to download as well. So you get to have access to that on there. Adrian, what's up? Good to see you on here. Aaron, what's up? Welcome to all the new people in the room. Lots of new people. Very cool, very cool. Licensed in PA, but been out of the business for a while. Use some refreshers. All right, cool. You came to the right place. All right, so first things first. Paul Mitchell sent me a bunch of Maverick products. A lot of them are kind of original products, so I know a lot about them. There was one product that stuck out to me, which is this high hold pomade. Let me see if it'll, yeah, right there. So I'm very excited to check this thing out. Firm hold, high shine. So I'm thinking about doing a haircut that will cater to this. Also, our mannequin head has pretty thick hair, so I think it'll work well with it. They also sent me this cool hat, but I chose to wear a white hat today, so I don't think I'm gonna put it on. And I'm picky on hats, but it's a cool hat. So they also have a grooming spray, a skin tonic, grooming cream, skin and beard oil lotion. I love that one. Beard oil, original pomade, and then dry paste. Dry paste is one of my go-to products in the salon. So it's got kind of like a nice medium hold matte finish. So it depends on what you're looking for. This one would be more of your high shine product with high hold. And you've got medium hold and matte finish. And then you have kind of your natural hold with the original pomade with shine. So it's pretty simple, pretty basic product line. No need to complicate it. No need to even be able to speak at all. So it's just a really easy product line, easy to talk to guys about behind the chair. And so that's where we're gonna go with today, is putting together a cut that goes with those products. Thank you to Paul Mitchell and Maverick for sending those out to me. Excited to get into this cut. So, can you add a link to watch replays, please? Yes, so anybody that follows me a lot, if you could type in the chat the Patreon link so that everybody knows how to get to it. I will also put it up there for a minute, but I don't want it to like flood the screen because I am filming these videos to chop up later, and I don't need the Patreon link in there all the time. So right here, write it down, patreon.com/Matt Beck. You can watch all the replays, and as soon as you sign up, you get access to everything I've ever done on Patreon, and it's all exclusive content on there. So that's it. How cool is this? It is really cool. Very, very cool. And I have a busy day in the salon today, so starting at 1 o'clock, I gotta get out of here. So I got a good hour and 15 minutes to go over this haircut with you guys, and we'll break it down. Again, I wanna go into strong detail with this cut. Anytime I'm doing a live, I'm here for you guys. So make sure you type in your questions. Type Q and put in your question. So just a Q and then the question, because at the very end, if time allows it. Close, Melanie. You're so close. It's Patreon. So look at this link down here, patreon.com/MattBack. I'm not sure where that one's going to take you, so just be careful, everyone. But thank you so much for posting it. You guys are the best. All right. But yeah, type Q, put in your question. At the very end, I can put in my search bar Q, so it'll pull up all of your questions. I'll do a little Q&A to finish it off, just to make sure that I touch on everybody's questions throughout this live stream. So stay with me. Make sure you share this video, subscribe to the channel, and because I'm live every day, if I can be. I'm pretty much live every day. So thanks for joining me. Not as confident with short men's cuts? Well, today's your day. We're going to figure this out. All right, so let me get back to the main. I'm going to go over to the studio, and we're going to get started on the cut. So 1 second. Here we go. I'm going to take this off here, and then pop me. All right, so here is today's model. He's got a nice head of hair, so this is a previous cut that I did, so we're just going to take this down a little bit. Let me pull the chat over so I can see you guys. My other screen here. Cool. There we go. All right. So first things first, I want to brush out the mannequin. I will try my best. I know I'm wearing a dark shirt and he's got dark hair. I will stay out of the way, I promise. But if you want, you can yell at me in the chat for it. So we'll comb this back. And the previous haircut that I gave him, he had a disconnection on the top. The sides are a little bit shorter. It's disconnected through the top. Today, what I want to do is I want to I cannot speak today. I want to keep a little bit of this length in the back, or on the top. Pause. Deep breath. Okay. I want to keep some of the length on the top. I want to remove quite a bit of length from the sides, and then I want to pop this style forward. And we're going to do a little bit of diffusing. I'm going to add a little bit of that pomade to it to kind of just define the front, but give it still a natural look. What I find in the salon nowadays is that a lot of people don't want the heavy product look. They want it to look a little more natural, but they obviously want it to look good and put together. So we're going to go with that. Lorraine says, does men's face shape matter on a cut? It does for sure. Obviously, if they have a super long face, you don't want to do a super high haircut, but it matters a little bit less. And this is why, like, with women's cuts and stuff, like, a lot of women will ask about, is their face right for short hair? When you look at guys' hair, and a lot of them, like, there's just little tiny tweaks that we might make to it, but there is a haircut that fits every guy with short hair, right? So why wouldn't there be a haircut that fits every woman with short hair? Or anybody on the planet, right? So understanding that you do have to cater to face shape, but there's always an ideal little tweak to make to have it fit. And a lot of that is in the style. So, all right. Thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Can you change your shirt so we can see better? No, but I promise you, when I'm moving and when I'm cutting hair, I will be out of the way so that you guys can see, okay? And I'll be zoomed in. You'll be able to see it. Just when I stand here and I talk to you guys, you might not be able to see this part, okay? A lot of the reason I keep these classes free is because I can wear black clothes. All right, so we comb this back. And let me get zoomed in. Can you change your shirt? Not going to happen, guys. Sorry. sure there's somebody out there that teaches with a white shirt, but it's not me. All right, so here we go. I'm going to work along the parietal ridge. So this is the focus here. I want to create a U-shaped section around the top. So we'll go right here. How do I find the parietal ridge? It's really just this bend in the head. So if you place the comb right along the head shape here, you can feel that bend, just like that. All right, so comb it back, and then I'm going to work along that parietal ridge and make my parting. There we go. And I'm going to continue so you can see that line back, following the head shape. Working across mid-crown. And then same thing, back around along the parietal ridge. Now, there's a good chance I didn't get this perfect, but I'll check for balance in the mirror or in the camera for today. Because it is important that you have that balance before you start cutting. Twist that up. I'll just throw a little clip in it, and then we'll take a look. Yep, way off. That one's a little bit higher. I'll go here, cross. See where we're at there. Just look in the mirror, and these two little spots are what I'm looking at, here and here. Actually, just yeah, we'll go over the cowlick as we go into this. Thanks, Jake. All right, so I've got it sectioned off. We worked that U shape. Show you guys the overhead. So right here you can see all the way around here, nice U shape. We're working, when I'm cutting men's hair, I'm always focused on this little bit of round of the head. I want to have a slight buildup of weight, depending on if they have a giant head or a head that kind of comes out. Maybe I'll go a little bit sleeker to help skinny their head up. But if they have a really square head, then maybe I'll do that. But I like to have a little bit of a buildup of weight starting about this point here. And then you can always adjust that. Some guys like it, some guys don't. So you just make your decisions in that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work clipper over comb around this hole underneath. So clipper over comb is scooping up underneath and then tilting back. Now, why do we tilt back? Our goal is to lift the hair out, to cut it, and leave a little bit of weight. Then I'm going to bring that weight up, lift it up, and cut it. So basically, I'm taking the weight of the haircut and I'm removing it until I decide to drop it off. I always think about it like you're its Uber driver or something, and you take it, I take it away from here, I pick it up, take it away, and I keep bringing it until I drop it off at its final destination, right? So take a look at how we come in here. Back out just a little bit. How we come in here. And then I want to work back off of the face, okay? So I take my clipper comb, which is a wider comb that fits the clipper on it, right? You want to have a wider comb when you're working. It's a lot harder to use a tiny comb and try to get the teeth over top of that. You can do it, but I like working with a wider comb, wider section at a time. So I lift this up, I just come in here, and I slide across and remove that weight from there. Then the weight line is here. Okay? So, brighten up the camera so you can see a little better. So the weight line sits right here. So now we're going to bring that weight line up a little bit more. So I come in here, pick the hair up from where it is, just like that, and I work across with the clipper, and now the weight line has been shifted up even further. Lift it up, cut through, and now it's even higher. So that's the goal as we work through it. When you look at it from a side angle, you can see it stays pretty flat to the head, but you got a slight little bevel right in its top edge where that parietal ridge is, okay? Do I prefer babyless clippers, which is what I'm using here, over wall clippers? So first off, I like pretty much every clipper I've picked up, but I would say that I actually own 2 of these. This one I've had for a while. This one is more recent. I feel like this one struggles to cut bulk more, like if I'm trying to get through a haircut quickly, especially if I'm not cutting super short hair. I feel like this one struggles a little bit. And I don't know why, but Brian in our salon also bought this one as well and was struggling with it. So not really sure if it's a weird batch, if there's, you know, I don't know. I got it off Amazon, so maybe that's a problem. Who knows? I don't know who they sell or distribute to, but that could be the issue as well. I don't know. So, but to answer your question in the best way I can, I would say I like this clipper a lot. And the reason I like it is because it has this right here. So right here, this little click to open up, instead of it being a smooth arm. Now maybe some wall clippers have that, but the ones I used to use do not. It's a smoother, and maybe some people really like that smooth because they can adjust it even less. But I like just, you know, working through a clipper cut and being able to just click it once or twice and knowing exactly where I'm at with the length of that clipper, right? So if I click it once and I'm working a line and then I have to go back and do something else, and then I want to go back and work that same line, I know I just need to click it once and I'm back in the same spot. So that's kind of where I like it. Jake's saying motor driven are stronger, are stronger than the magnetic driven in my experience. Yeah, I totally agree with that. All right, so we're going to keep working through. I'm just going to go a little bit shorter here. Sorry if I'm in the way a little bit. And this is also a great technique. Like a lot of kids are wearing this kind of longer mullet-y kind of thing in the back, a little shorter in the front. Using just flipper over comb technique, working through it. It kind of connects the two. And then you can literally just, I like to over direct this part forward and cut into it like that, which what that does, so basically combing as much as you can up to this point and connecting it, gives you that shorter and then a little bit longer pieces towards the back. So it gives you that kind of little mullet-y feel. You could always even clipper this a little bit shorter, but a lot of kids that I see wearing this are not wearing anything that looks like it makes any sense. It's just usually shaved up and then the back is long. So that's a little tip if you wanted to create that. We're not creating that today though. So I'm going to go through and again start at the bottom and work that weight up to the top and then drop it off. Go again, work that weight up to the top. Just like that, and drop it off. I come into the back. We're going to do the same thing. Come across the back. Work that clipper across. Bring that weight up the head. Now, when I get to the occipital bone, which is this area here, I'll start to move my way out from the head shape. I won't follow all the way up because I don't want this part to be short. I want it to be a little bit longer in that crown. So we'll go here. So watch my comb angle. So I go here. And watch what I do. So now I start working further out, letting the head shape also play a role in this, but look how much weight we leave and a little bit of length. That gives a more natural kind of silhouette when you look at the head. All right. So now when I move to this side, because now I'm going to connect the two sides together, biggest thing is I want to move the clipper in the same direction. So instead of now coming this way, I want to go off the face like I did on the opposite side. So here we go. So just like this. Oh. Like this. There we go. And then we're going to move into the back. So here, still going back off the face. See, that's where it kind of grabbed a hold of the hair a little bit. So a little note here, as I was going up the head here, lifting, when I got to this point, I pull a little bit further away. Get you a better angle. So I'm here. I'm basically 90 degrees off the head, and then when I get here, I start going a little bit further back to continue to build this kind of V shape in the weight. So Jen, that's a great question. Actually, let me pop that question up on the screen because it is very, very good. Here we go. So Jen's asking, what is the reason for clipping the side towards the back instead of towards the face, right? So she's asking, what is the difference between going backwards with the clipper and going forward? If he was going to be, he or she, depending on who you're cutting, was going to be wearing this forward towards their face on the sides, I'd cut it towards the face. If they're going to wear it back off of their face, which is what this style is going to be at the end, then you go diagonal back and clipper back off the face like this. So wear it towards the face, diagonal forward, clipper, clipper. Diagonal back, and then in this scenario I went balanced, but no matter what, when you clipper something or cut something, when you push, you're pushing weight into a direction no matter what. Very little when you're clipper over combing because the comb is holding it steady, but there's still a little bit of a push. So I just find that it makes sense in my head to go back off of the face whenever I want to wear the hair off the face. Okay? All right, now I want to go in and fine tune some of this clipper over comb work, just because I'm going to show you guys kind of my Salon reality speed here and what I do. So this won't be as close up, but it'll give you a good idea of kind of how I like to work through it. I comb the hair down, get it all organized. And this is why I like clipper over comb so much, because I just feel like I can literally just start carving in the shape that I want in the head. Come over here. I'll go up the back last. There we go. And I'm just going to come up the back. You're just kind of zeroing in on where there's weight and where you want to remove the weight and where you want to push it up to. That's really the goal there. This clipper, this was sent to me randomly. I don't even know who this company is, but I actually really love this clipper for my tighter clipper work. This is just a 4, so it's not really tight, but I don't know. I like this clipper. It's super heavy, but it still has the click here. And the guards come automatically magnetized. So I really like that little aspect. So I'm going to work a little bit of clippering just to go a little tighter around the edge. Now that I've got I can't move his ear, but I would normally. Just want to go a little tighter. So when I go in with the clipper, I just go in and move it out. Flick my wrist out as I work around. Here. This is just around the edge. I don't want this to be a short haircut. It is really the entire point of this, but I do want it to look nice and cleaned up. See, go a little tight, work around his ear. And I'll use my trimmer. And this is a lot easier, obviously. One thing I love to do in the salon to work around the ear, which I think a lot of people can struggle with, I bend his ear down and I put the comb in over top of the ear, and the comb will hold the ear down, and then it's easier to get in here and around it. So I'll just kind of work like that instead. Before, I would hold his ear with my finger, and then both my hands were kind of in the way, so that became a challenge. This way, you just hold the ear down with the comb, and then you just work around it, and your hands aren't hitting each other. the guard was a 4 guard. I don't like doing this detail work on a mannequin because it's not really realistic. I mean, it's not that crazy different, but there we go. But I need to clean it up for the end result so it looks good. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to do that really quick, and then we'll move to the top of the head. Almost there. Okay. What is the name of the haircut, and can it be done on all types of texture hair? Yes. So I don't know the name of this haircut. It's going to be a haircut that is shorter on the sides and then a disconnected top. It's going to be worn forward, a little bit messier in the front. Very natural looking style, and it can work on all hair types because most guys that wear this, and honestly I've seen some shorter female styles as well that wear this kind of forward, messy, right in the very front. It's even if it's straight, it's usually kicked out a little bit or scrunched up. So the wavier or curlier, the better on this cut, to be honest. How does this person get in here every time? Sorry, I just gotta block somebody, guys. If you on YouTube, you see them block. Okay, cool. All right, so now I want to let out the top section, just like that. Work that forward. And you'll see that we've got quite a bit of disconnect, which is good, we want, but it's all over the place. So you got disconnect in the back coming off there, you don't want that, and then it's disconnected towards the front. So we need to put together a shape that will work towards connecting the back portion and disconnecting the front. Here's the cowlick. A lot of you guys were asking questions about cowlicks at the beginning, so I do want to address kind of different thought processes there. Let me turn this to the front. So what I want to do, and to kind of go along with the FSE digital haircutting system, is separate the front and back. And the way we do that is I look for this little area behind the ear, I follow the hairline up, and I take out that hair. So I'll go from the cowlick basically down to the hairline, and I'll push the rest of this forward. Just like that. I'll bring this back. So you've got your parting, and I'm going to work another one on this side down to the hairline and comb what should be considered the back to the back and leave the front in the front. See? So you follow this line here and you go all the way up and around. Same thing over here, all the way up and around. So now you've got the back end of the cowlick and you got the front end. Let me show you where the cowlick was. This is the point of the cowlick. So you can see we've split it right at the point. And now I want to see naturally kind of how that hair wants to go off of the cowlick. For this guy, it wants to split a little bit right like that. So I'm going to cut it in the direction it wants to go, because then it'll be blended where it falls. Where there's a challenge with cowlicks is it doesn't blend where it wants to fall because we cut it, forcing it to go somewhere else. And then when we let it go, it goes back to where it wants to be. Our client doesn't style it the way that we want it to be styled. And now all of a sudden you have this just hair flying free and has no idea what to do, right? So, I would call it a disconnected mop top. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is, Jake. All right, so here, I'm gonna work off the cowlick, pie-shaped sections through. And I'm gonna blend it into the back. Now let's talk about finger angle as I work, right? So if I'm here and I come off the head shape, I don't want to go up into the crown. I want to come out from the head using the curve of the head, which is here, and this piece is coming from here. So this is 90. I want to keep the top point of this section at about 45 degrees. Okay, so 90 degrees is here. I want to keep it at about 45. Give you a better angle. Got your section straight out from the head here, 90 degrees. So my top point of my, if it's easy to do it this way, you could go, all right, here's 90, just pull this piece of hair out. I don't want it to be at 90, I want it to be at 45. Now I've got my angle, comb the rest of the hair up to that point, just like that, and cut. Now when it drops, it'll drop with just a slight bit of weight. Nice little graduation in the crown, okay? All right, pivot. Now I'm gonna bring my old section to the new section because we're traveling the guide. Now I drop off section 1 at home, and I bring section 2 with me. Drop section 2 off at home and bring 3 with me. Tiny bit to cut there. So that starts to work my cowlick. So same thing. Now I've got the point of my cowlick here. So bring down a little bit of section 1. Just find your guide. Pivot. Bring the previously cut section to the new section. Don't start now combing away because you'll make this side longer. You got to do everything consistently, just like on the sides at the very beginning of this cut. We did everything the same way, back. Anytime you're cutting something from one side to the other, you got to mimic it. Okay. So now we've cut the calic area. You can see that little bit of buildup, but see what would happen if we cut this and it would have been flat? It doesn't make his head look natural. It makes your head look natural when you have that little bit buildup of weight. Now, obviously, you don't want it to be too much, but once we blow it dry, we can do some texturizing techniques to make sure it's good. But that's it. All right. So now we need to move through the top. We got the calic here, right? So now I'm going to move through the top. I need to keep length in the front. So how do I keep this length in the front? I need to make sure my over direction happens. Now, how much length do we want in the front determines how much over direction we're going to have. So if I'm looking for a good amount of length in the front, then I would just bring everything back, maybe not all at the same time, but just for visual right now, bring everything back to the back point and cut it like right here. And then that would give me majority of that length that I have still in the front. The other thing, we talked about this yesterday. Oh, actually, here. Talked about this yesterday, but the head shape is curved. Duh. You guys are like, I know. But the head shape is curved. So when I'm working through, see, what if I was wearing a white shirt? This would be very difficult. I'm just kidding. The head shape is curved. So if I come straight up to cut, even though I'm only going straight up and I'm cutting everything at the same length here, it won't actually be at the same length because this is much shorter, the distance here, than the distance here, right? So look at this. If I draw this out here, much longer. So if I then decide to over direct everything back, if I take everything back to this point, now it's going to be even more extreme because this hair that's coming around this curve has to go around that curve then to my hand, as opposed to this hair that's just going right up to my hand. So this hair will be much shorter and then this hair will be much longer. Now that caters to this style a little bit, but you've got to be aware of that. And sometimes I like to walk my length, and by that I mean like travel my guide. I like to travel my guide. So let's say I'm at this point, this is where our calic is, right? I like to travel 1, 2, 3 to the apex, which is the high point of the head right here. Then start my over direction back just to the apex. And that gives me length, but not too much length. So depending on what you want the outcome to be, what your client wants, do they want a really long front? You need to decide, do I want to travel up a few, then make my stationary guide, or do I want to make my stationary guide and just bring everything back to it? All right. It's much easier to see on the bald head. Okay. So today, we're going to travel to the apex and then cut our length. I'm going to split this down the center. So there's the calic, but the calic's not in the center. Center is off calic a little bit. I'm going to go here. I'm going to split this into two just for convenience and ease of not having to deal with too much hair in my hand at the same time. If you look here, cool parting. These are all getting cut the same, so it doesn't need to be like fully perfect. It's just to separate it. I'd much rather work with this much hair in my hand as opposed to the latter. So, all right. I got everything I need. All right, let me go to the overhead at the beginning. All of this is going to be coming straight up from the head shape. So, back out a little bit. Go a little bit wider. That's good. Okay. So here, I'm going to work across the head till I get to the apex, then everything's going to come back to it. Across the head, 1, 2, 3. Then 3 becomes our stationary guide, and you bring everything back to it. So here, and I'm cutting parallel to the floor. I will flip so you can see the angle. Here, cut, parallel to the floor. Now, next section, bring section 1 to section 2, cut, drop section 1 off, we don't need it anymore, grab section 3 at the apex, bring section 2 to it, and cut. Now we've got our stationary guide right here at the apex. Bring section 2 back. Now everything, instead of combing forward, I'm not combing the guide towards the hair now I'm stationary, so I'm pulling the hair to the guide. The guide's not moving, right? So bring it back. Take another section. Comb it back. Look at my finger angle, parallel to the floor. And then all of this hair here. Now look, when I comb it forward, look how much hair is still towards the front. Still quite a bit, right? So imagine if I would have over-directed everything all the way back to the very back. But I got some nice little layers in here, and that'll give some volume so the hair won't fall super flat, and then you've got this fun kind of front to mess around with in the dry cut. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Section 1. I'll grab a little piece from the opposite side. This is a little trickier because I lose tension right here. So as I'm like cutting that, I'm aware that not only does my finger want to kind of angle, like as I'm holding it, my finger kind of wants to angle like this. So already I would push extra length there, and I don't want that. You've got to be aware and keep your elbow kind of tight to your body and cut it more like this and try to keep that balance across the top. And then be aware that you lose tension there so you can get extra length already. So just kind of be careful on that. All right, section 2. Bring section 1 to section 2. Drop off section 1. Grab the apex, section 3. See, and there. And now we bring everything back to me. Sherry, you're very welcome. Thank you, Stacy. Glad you guys are liking the cut so far. So you can see, let me turn it. So you see how longer length in the front, shorter in the back. Love everything about this cut. A little bit to this. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to add in just a little bit of product to get the style started, but I'm not going to put the pomade in yet. So let me grab those couple products there. We're going to grab, there's a couple of these that I really like. Grooming cream, so we're going to use that today. And then we're going to use, I think I'll use the high hold. I don't think I'm going to go high hold today on this style. I'm feeling bad because I wouldn't probably use high hold, so we'll go high hold a different day, different style. If you guys are liking these types of cuts, let me know in the chat. I will definitely do more of them. So first product that I'm going to put in is going to be this grooming cream. Here we go. Sure it's not open yet. I need to. Oh, all right. So here, grooming cream. This would probably even be enough for this style, to be honest. But I'll finish it with a little pomade. But this product feels perfect for this. Like something that smells delicious too. Something that just needs to slightly hold the hair, but not be too much. Brooke, he feels better about himself for sure. I love how you're looking out for him though. So look at how, like, you get that volume in there. It doesn't look flat, right? That's what I love about this. All right, so now we're going to diffuse it. So grabbing a diffuser. This is actually a really easy tool to teach guys to use because, like, all you got to do is hold it there, right? But getting just a little bit of hold, and this is honestly, this is a wash and go style. You don't have to do this, but you could throw that grooming cream in and just go. But we're going to go the extra mile today for you guys. So I go in. I love it. Whoops, I keep stepping on the wrong thing. Uh-oh. Coming back. There we go. T-Rose lover. Yes, I'm totally going to leave it in his eyes. Just for you. I'm just kidding. I'm going to cut it a little bit, but just above his eyes. Patience is the key. The style will come. I don't like to cut the fringe part too early, because if I did that wet and then started drying it, it might end up being too short. And the whole style kind of rides on this. So what I want to do is go in, and we're going to do a little detail with the TriRazor. Where is my TriRazor? Oh, here it is. So TriRazor is my patented tool that is a 3-sided cutting tool. When you order it from our online store, Shop FSE, I'll show you guys. Shop link. So when you order this from our online store, Shop FSE, it comes in this box. You get the razor with 3 blades in it, and then it comes with a pack of 5 blades as well. So you get the razor, which is here, and then you get, if you want to, this is such a cool tool for detailing anybody's hair, but I'll show you guys some tricks with it today. You know, if you're looking for a new tool and you want to spend, it's $34.95. You get an exclusive video with it on a short pixie shag haircut. No one else has seen that video except for people that buy this razor. Also, just supports the channel, and you get a cool tool. So I appreciate anybody that orders it. You open it up. It's got 3 blades inside. You can change these blades out. You put it back together like that, and then you snap the top on, and you've got your TriRazor back. Let me keep putting these blades in the wrong spot. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now if I want to just take some of these pieces from the front, and I can remove them and pick my length. So right here, start to see how it goes out of his eyes at that point. And then this is a really fun thing too, in the back and the cowlick area. If you want to remove a little bit of weight, I can come underneath where some of this weight is, section that away, and then right in there I take this 25 texture side, zoom in, so right here, take the 25 texture side, and I can literally just kind of comb into it a little bit, and it removes 25% of the hair and adds a ton of texture to it. Let this down. I can do it again if I want to, and just continue working through the head, removing some weight. We also have these little Velcro clips that are awesome for working with shorter hair types. You can also, if you're afraid to just slide it on the hair, you can hold the hair like this. Let me go to the overhead. You can hold the hair. Zoom. Oh, presets quit working. So you can hold the hair like this and just go with a 25. Then there's a 50% texture too, if you want to take a little more out. But for this particular style, we don't need to. So you just go through and cut it. This, like, it doesn't need to be that long, so just go in, cut into it a little bit. Thank you, guys. What kind of blades? So there are specific TriRazor blades, but they're not unique to the TriRazor. Same blades that like the carving comb uses, and they're made, technically I think they're like a feather makes them as well, but I'm not really sure, but you can buy the blades on our store. So there you go. Nice little mop top with disconnection, like Jake would say. Like that. And obviously you can spice this up. One thing I loved seeing in the chat was the ideas that were coming from people. So like that's super cool to me. That's what this is all about. Yeah, that's totally true, Smo. All right, I'm gonna pop over. We're gonna do the Q&A, but that is the goal of this whole thing, is just to make sure that, you know, I'm doing a haircut for you guys. I'm showing you guys something. That doesn't mean do it exactly like this. And some people were saying, you know, I'd do this a little more slick back, or I would have done like a duck like back or something very Elvis-like. So I love seeing your guys' ideas. That's the whole point, being able to take it and change it up. Dry hair doesn't damage the hair. No, it doesn't damage the hair. It's a nice sharp blade, sharper than a scissor in a razor. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, we're gonna do Q&A real quick. How much time do I have? I got like, I'm gonna go 8 minutes on Q&A. And look, my sun's back, my glow. Okay. Really gotta fix that. It's bright. Let's see. If I could fix it quickly. One sec. See what we can do here. Can it be fixed? So much. Well, it's better than it was. Yeah, way better than it was. And now I'm sweating. All right, cool. Okay, so, and I don't have my chat. Let me bring my chat back. Can't answer your questions if I can't see your questions. There we go. It looks like John Travolta. That's so true. He really does. All right. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I appreciate you hanging on here. Oh, let's see. I always have trouble. Okay, let's do some Q&A. And these questions can be about anything, guys, like any salon stuff. I want to try to get through them as quick. I'll do a little rapid fire on here. So, okay, what if there's a cowlick? So, what if there's a cowlick on the crown and 2 above each eyebrow? How to control them better? That's a very specific question. Focus on the cowlicks the way that I talked about. Now, if they're above the eyebrow, this would be a perfect haircut for it because you're leaving so much length in the front and you're trying to create some volume. So cowlicks might actually be better in the front, and then in the back, do the cowlicks the way that I talked about. Where do you buy your mannequins? I buy them currently from Pivot Point. Again, those are expensive mannequins, but they are, at this point, the best I've found. So that's Pivot Point mannequin. Thanks, Johnny. Good seeing you in here. And then Daisy. I have always had trouble holding. I wonder if I need to put like. No. I've always had trouble holding short hair around the nape and doing graduation while doing a razor cut. Sorry, I gotta get that back up there. Doing a device to solve this problem, or do you have any special techniques to solve the issue while razor cutting? I always have trouble holding short hair around the nape doing a graduation. I don't think you need a device for that. I actually think there are some pretty easy techniques. Like when you cut with a razor, you're cutting on top of your fingers. So if I'm holding the hair out from the head and I slide the razor inside my fingers, it's the same as cutting it on top of your fingers. You just got to go a little bit further away from the head to get the razor in there. And any razor, I think, does a good job on that. So maybe I'll do a class on a graduation with a razor, and then that way, you know, you can have an easier time with that. All right. For some reason, I know there were a lot of questions, but I'm not seeing them because I don't know if we didn't do the queue or what. But if you guys, thanks New England, yeah, definitely a good class for that. Get the person to lower their head when cutting around the nape. Yeah, good call. All right, cool. So I don't see any other questions. If you have one, post it. Otherwise, I'll just do a couple little plugs here. I would love for you guys to check out my hair cutting system. It is available at Shop FSE, or if you become a Patreon member. So let me put the shop link up here, and then also share with you guys. This is the promo video for my cutting system. You would love it. It's a great way to train your team, yourself, your school, whatever it is. You can download it now. Here is the promo for it, and I'll be right back. There's a few things that you have to understand about hair cutting before you can really jump into doing haircuts. These are all things that I'm going to teach you guys in the next 8 haircuts. Truly understanding the why behind what you're doing in haircutting can make haircutting so much more fun and make you way more successful behind the chair. All right, so let me go back to that. There's a few things that you have to understand about hair cutting before you can. Okay. Geez, that person's back again. not the person, you know, the troll person. I have extra fine hair. How do I make it look thicker? Let me get rid of the shop link. Shirley's asking, I have extra fine hair. How do I make it look thicker? The biggest thing that you can do is, first off, don't overlayer your hair, and then also products. Products are the best way to do it. Blow dry styles, round brushing, but really just keeping, like, think about what creates density in hair is when the hair, like, if you start to layer it, you have less hair in one spot. So the density changes, becomes thinner looking, right? So I love a one length, like long bob for finer hair. I do not mind layers, but then you gotta go heavy, not heavy products, but you gotta go the right products, extra body products, things that thicken up the hair. Make sure you don't use too heavy of conditioners, use a nice light conditioner. That'll help out. So there are things that you can do, but I love a one length haircut for fine hair, just to add that density to it. And then maybe use even that, like a little powder product, Pump Me Up, I think it's called. I think from Paul Mitchell, Invisible Wear. You just spray it on, it comes out like a powder, and it just makes your hair feel thicker. That's a really good product as well. So that would be my things. Blunt bob, long bob, or longer blunt haircut. Pump Me Up in there, little thicken up from Extra Body, put that through there. All Paul Mitchell products, you can find them on their website or go to a Paul Mitchell salon, and that would make your locks thick. Thicker. Could you perm the top if a guy has thin, straight hair but wanted this wavy, curly hair? Yeah, for sure. I actually think this haircut would be pretty cool with a nice little perm in the front. And if somebody has straight hair and they want this cut, it's a good option. Why do you use disconnection in a haircut? Somebody said, I was reading an article about this cut that I want to be doing soon, but I'm just playing around with it. But they use the word contrast in how they were describing layers, and I thought that was a really cool way to describe a look. So for me, disconnection creates that contrast, that depth, the separation a little bit in a style. So if this wasn't disconnected, well, it wouldn't have this look, first off, for today's look. But disconnection can remove weight, it can add texture, it can add depth to a haircut, it can, yeah, I mean, those are kind of the few things that I think you use disconnection for. It also can make it more unique, depending on how you use that disconnection. So I think disconnection, I'm using disconnection in almost every haircut I do, because we used to, when I was first taught, connect everything. If it wasn't connected, it was wrong. And for me, like when you look at the FSC digital haircutting system and you look at the fact that we split the head in half and we treat the back different than the front, then they're not going to be connected because they're not the same haircut. Like, why would I cut the back that has, the most density the same as I cut the front? It's just not going to happen. It doesn't make sense. So, so that would be kind of my reasonings behind disconnection. You're very welcome, Jen. Thanks for being here. Thank you, T. Rose Lover. Ask about weight in the crown. Mine always comes out heavy. The V is too prominent. Can't get the right elevation at the back, top maybe, or can't understand where to drop the weight. So Smo, in the crown, if it's always too heavy, it might just mean that you got to go straight up layering, because sometimes with certain people's hair, if you do any type of graduation, it just gets too heavy too fast. So, and because you're using the head shape, like when it falls around, your head might just, like your head shape might not kind of come in like some other people. Like some people don't have a prominent crown area. A lot of people don't. So some people do. So like that changes the angles and stuff that you're cutting. So maybe go straight layering in the crown as opposed to graduation. See what that does. If it's longer, you know. I mean, I guess even shorter would be fine, but. Doesn't more weight flatten fine hair? So Jasmine, that's a great question. I don't think, I'm gonna move these out of the way. It's like distraction coming in. So Jasmine, doesn't more weight flatten fine hair? My answer to that would be no. I think that's, in my opinion, a little bit of a misconception because it depends on where you want the bulk, right? So like some of my clients with fine hair, they come in and they hate that it's fine around here. So that's when I go with the one length bob type cut. And then when I blow it dry, I blow it with volume, round brush it, and then I put that pump me up spray or like powder in it, and that just fluffs, like makes it feel lighter and bigger. Now, longer fine hair, if you put the wrong products in it and you don't blow dry it with a lot of volume, to lighten it up first before you put in that final product, it can feel definitely a lot heavier. And then you just kind of feel like it's flat. So depends on what you're going for. But I really like the look of that blunt haircut on fine hair. Now, if you're not going to wear it blunt and show off that line and try to make your hair look thicker in that way and add a little bit of that product in there, then I would say you got to do something else, probably a shorter haircut so that you can layer it. Because fine hair, when you layer it and it's long, it just falls flat all the time. So for me, I always try to encourage fine hair people to go a little bit shorter, because the shorter the hair, the more sturdy it is, the hair strand, right? Somebody did an analogy. Who was that back in the day? Anthony Quattrapani. I think it was him. But so it was a haircutting class I was in back in the day, a long time ago. And I think he did the reference of a tape measurer, and you put the tape measurer out, and then eventually, once that tape measure gets to a certain length, gravity pulls it and drops it to the ground. It doesn't stay strong. That's the same thought process in hair, and that's kind of, that made sense to me, because if you have fine hair and it's at a certain length, it's just gonna fall and drop. And any hair, really. So when you cut those shorter pieces in there, or you bring the length up, and then you add the layers and the pump me up, spread like powder and all of that stuff, then you have a more successful canvas to work with, as opposed to having this long hair for no reason. Like, if it's not going to do anything, it's just long for being long, then it's not worth it. So those are my thoughts. I appreciate it, Johnny. You're the best, man. You're the best. Can you repeat the address to see the video again? Okay, yeah. So Chantal, it is right here. Patreon. So if you guys want to watch this class back, if you missed any of it, and you want to watch all the classes I've ever done, the private classes, you get access to them at patreon.com/MattBeck. You can go there, sign up, and it's $10 a month, $9.99 a month, and you get access to everything and my digital haircutting system that I talked about before. So definitely check it out. All right, cool, guys. I got to go. My client is here. I appreciate all of you guys, and I look forward to being on here live again. I'll be back Monday. Tomorrow, I actually have doctor's appointments, so I won't be here tomorrow. And then I have clients the rest of the day. So that's it. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Please, whenever you see my videos, like them, share them, subscribe to this channel. You guys are the best community that you could ever think of. I appreciate all of you, and I can't wait to be hanging with you guys next week. So enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Thank you so much. See you soon. Goodbye.
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road,
I can't sit still for a minute. I'm so dead set on indifference. Keep it Charlie, stay down with them Dickens. Let's get around like it's the 80s, right round, let's keep spinning. Let's keep playing these games that we don't want to finish.